Hello everyone, this is LadyByrd with the LadyByrd Live Foundation, and today's video I wanted to discuss with you guys HIV and oral sex. Now a lot of you guys are going to watch this video and say, wait a minute, why is she going to talk about oral sex? Well, for a lot of you, oral sex is something you do with your partner. You don't use any protective barriers, so it's just one of those things you say, okay, we do it, we satisfied, we happy, and you keep it moving. But a lot of people don't understand the risk when it comes to having unprotected or unbarriered oral sex. So I wanted to discuss that because a lot of people are asking, can I get HIV from having oral sex? So I wanted to, let me scoot over here a little bit. I wanted to do this video so that you guys can understand the risk of transmission of HIV when it comes to having oral sex. And so I have a little sheet here, so I'm going to be referencing this because I want to make sure that I hit the topics for you guys and that you guys get a clear understanding of the purpose of this video. So, oral sex and HIV risk. And a lot of this information is from the CDC's website, so you can always reference it. It was updated as new as May 2016. So I'm going to be giving you guys the information they have, and then also the information that just from my own personal knowledge. So just really fast facts about it. There is little to no transmission when it comes to getting HIV through oral sex. The risk is very low. It's almost slim to none, basically. There is a risk, though, of getting other STDs like hepatitis and herpes. There's a risk of that during oral sex that's not protected. And then, as always, like I keep saying, you hear this word protection, barriers, and all that stuff. So when it comes to oral sex, you want to make sure that you're using latex barriers, and there's also medicines that you can use, and that people use for HIV that can further reduce the risk of transmitting to the disease. So you want to make sure that you are knowledgeable of these things. So first off, what is oral sex? I mean, some people hear it, some people never done it, some people are scared to talk about it. It's something that's not really mentioned a whole lot. So, oral sex basically involves oral, your mouth. It involves stimulation to another body part. And it's a sexual body part, so it's going to be mouth to penis, mouth to vagina, mouth to anus. Who does that? I don't know. But it happens. So I want you guys to understand all areas that are being affected here when you discuss oral sex. Now, again, the chances of an HIV negative person getting HIV from oral sex with an HIV positive partner is extremely low. Now, the factors that are going to make this low are going to be if the person who's HIV positive, if their viral load is undetectable, if the person who's HIV negative is taking PrEP, which is the pre-exposure prophylaxis pill, Truvada, and also if you're using a protective barrier. Protective barrier meaning dental dam, flavor condoms, things like that that don't allow actual physical contact from mouth to whatever body part you're going to be giving oral stimulation to. So that definitely is what's going to lower the risk. Because it's just hard to really be able to tell you guys what that risk is going to be. It's all going to be dependent on the two people, or three or four, I don't know. Some people have a wild lifestyle. So it's just really going to depend on the type of risk you're putting yourself at, how greater or how lower that risk is going to be. Now, there are many factors that come to play when you're talking about the actual risk itself of the transmission. So through oral sex, even though it's low, The risk that can happen would include, say, the person who's giving oral has sores in their mouth, or there's sores on the vagina or the penile area, or if you have bleeding gums, oral contact with menstrual bleeding or blood, and trust me when I tell you, if you've heard some of the stories I've heard, you'll know that people will actually give oral during that so fragile time. And it's crazy, but it's real, and y'all know I come 100% real, and I'm going to tell you guys, in detail. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. So yeah, that can happen. And also if there's a presence of other STDs. So keep in mind that even though the person may be HIV positive, if they have a co-infection, say if they have hepatitis, herpes, gonorrhea, syphilis, chlamydia, what other infection they may have, depending on the type of infection, that can also be a risk to you because, as you know, herpes can be oral herpes as well as genital herpes. So you want to keep those things in mind also when you're talking about the risk factors and what makes the risk even greater. Now, here it is. Other STDs such as syphilis, herpes, gonorrhea, and chlamydia can be transmitted during oral sex. I'm going to repeat that for you guys. Syphilis, herpes, gonorrhea, and chlamydia. Those STDs can also be transmitted during oral sex. So even though your risk of transmitting HIV or getting HIV is low, you're also at risk for these other STDs. Let's see, as well as hepatitis A and B, and there's an intestinal parasite called what is it? I don't know if I'm saying this right, you guys. It's Giardia. I may be saying it wrong. It might be Giardia. It's Giad. It's Giardia. And also E. coli. So there's a lot of things to consider when performing oral sex and the risk that you're putting yourself in. Now, again, we're going to discuss reducing this risk. You can reduce this risk by keeping your partner from ejaculating in your mouth if you are giving a man oral sex. Of course, this can be done by just removing your mouth before that happens, or by simply using a condom. That's why they make flavored condoms. You guys always stress the importance of flavored condoms because that's a protective barrier. And flavored condoms are for oral sex. So you guys want to make sure that you're using the flavored condoms for oral sex. Using the barriers like dental dam can reduce the risk. If you don't know what dental dam is, a thin square piece of latex, or sometimes it's silicone, that's placed over the vagina or the anus during oral sex. So dental dam is used for vaginal and anal oral sex. It's a thin film. If you've ever been to the dentist and they do a procedure on you and they use this real thin film to kind of cut, block off the rest of your mouth, and they're only focused on one tooth, it's kind of the same thing. It's just you don't want to poke a hole in the dental dam while you're using it for oral sex. But it's a protective barrier. It's thin. You still get the same feel and sensation as you would if it wasn't being used. So don't think, oh, it's just going to be something, I won't feel it, I won't enjoy it. You're still going to enjoy the oral sex experience. It's just you're going to be enjoying it while being protected. And you can cut a latex condom and use it like dental dam, but again, I would use a flavored condom for that. And keep in mind that there is spermicide on the inside of the latex condom, so make sure you're not using that part of the latex condom to, you know, be licking on and stuff. Be swallowing spermicide and stuff. You don't want to do that. And then also, like I said before, the risk can also be lowered by using PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis, and also by the HIV positive partner taking their antiretroviral therapy. So if everybody's doing everything they're supposed to be, there should not be a reason that anyone should be spreading or, you know, becoming infected with any type of STD, including the HIV virus. And if you want to get more information on oral sex and HIV and other STDs, you can go to the CDC's website and get this information, as well as many other websites. This information is also going to be posted on the LadyByrd Live Foundation's website so that you can reference it. I'm going to probably open up a forum where we can go on there and post questions, ask questions. So you guys keep in mind, I'll have all those resources available for you. Visit our website, www.ladybirdlivefoundation.org. You're going to find linkage to care, linkage to testing. Coming up in a few months, we're going to have volunteer opportunities. There's going to be so many things for you guys to interact with us. Make sure you subscribe here to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to us here on YouTube. I'm going to be doing weekly video postings. I'm going to try, put it this way, I'm going to try to make sure I get a video posted every week. Next week, our post is going to be about mental health and HIV, because a lot of people don't think about the mental health aspect of getting an HIV diagnosis. It can take you through a lot. So tune in on next week when I post a video talking about mental health and HIV. Until then, you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope to talk to you guys soon. Make sure you share and like this video. Bye.